Christmas tradition that several of you wrote about was the people you celebrate Christmas with that aren't your immediate family, right? They're not your extended family. We'll talk about that. But this kind of chosen family Christmas where people you celebrate with who may or may not be the ones that you live with. When I grew up, one of my favorite things we did each year is our neighbors next door, Dick and Carol and their kids, we would gather on Christmas morning. Ideally, that was always the plan, right? Before we could do anything else, we'd do Christmas at home, we'd have our breakfast and everything, our Swedish coffee bread, our sugar cereals. We would go on Christmas morning and open our presents and such like this. And then when we were done, before lunch, before the meal, before anything else, before you could really even play with your toys, we would traipse across the snow-filled lot next door and join at Dick and Carol's house, and we would celebrate Christmas with them. I asked my folks why we do this, and I think it's just because we were neighbors and friends, and we would gather together and share gifts with one another. And they would do Christmas very differently than us, and we would see different kinds of celebrations and things like this. But as a kid, it was always this reminder that while I knew I was loved by my parents, that there were these other people out there, these other adults who cared deeply for me, that cared so deeply that they would give up part of their amazing Christmas mornings to celebrate with the neighbor kids. We would go, we would open presents, we would share some eggnog or something like this, and spend a little time together in fellowship as neighbors, as friends, as a way to celebrate the Christmas season and a way to share Christmas cheer. It was especially fun because if there were gifts that were given, they were always so incredibly thoughtful. It wasn't just like, well, here's something that's popular, take it. It was something because they knew you and they cared about you that mattered in your life. We would celebrate outside too with the Christmas lights at our house, and we would do pictures, and we would play in the snow and build snowmen and all of the things you do to celebrate that Christmas time with these folks that were not our blood, but were as close as you could ask for, because being a good neighbor too is a gift in the Christmas season. I hope if there are folks you celebrate with that matter deeply to you, you let them know. Don't just assume they know, don't just send a card. Let them know you care because it matters, especially in the season as we prepare for the coming of the Christ child, bringing light and life into the world. And you can do the same. We'll talk later.